What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Ace Salmon here, back to the video. And today we'll be going over my picks for this week 9 of the NFL season. These last couple weeks we've been on one. Last week we went 10-6, and over the last 3 weeks we were like 32-14, which in my opinion that is actually pretty good. That's like about a 70% hit rate. We've been absolutely cooking, and I think we're going to continue to cook. I'm super excited to show you guys my lock for this week. I think the lock of the week is going to be very good, and I think that this has a very good potential this week. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 420 subscribers. We've been stuck on this number for a little month now. I really would appreciate if you guys could help me out. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, so I really would appreciate it if you guys could reward me a little and help me out. It would mean a lot to me. But, I'm super excited for this week. I'm sitting here on Tuesday afternoon recording this, so I'm not up to date on injuries fully, but this is my knowledge as of right now. And again, I'm excited to cook, and we're going to get into it right now. Start off the week. We got Thursday Night Football. We got the Houston Texans going to New York, and they're playing the Jets. This is a very interesting game as the Texans are actually underdogs versus the Jets, who have been struggling these last few weeks. Well, I feel like it is a trap and that Vegas knows what's up. I'm going to go with the Texans here. I like the Texans here. I think that they're a great football team. I think C.J. Stroud's a great young quarterback. I think they have a very good defense, too. So I think that the Texans will get the job done. It's going to be very interesting to see them without Stephon Diggs or Nico Collins. Will Tank Dell be able to step up? And will John Mechie be able to fill that receiver role, that receiver 2 role? It'll be interesting to see. But I really do like the Texans in the spot. I think that the Jets are overrated. I think that the Texans will take a dub. They're a great football team. All right, Dallas, Atlanta. I'm getting second thoughts here. I originally went with the Falcons, but I'm starting to like the Cowboys here. I think that the Cowboys will get the job done. I really have a feeling that this is a do-or-die game for the Cowboys as they have been struggling so far. They've been losing a lot of games. And I think that they're going to put all the pieces together and come up with a dub. I think that Dak and CD will get it going, and I think that they will have a monstrous game, and I think that they will beat this Falcons team. Even though this Falcons team, man, they have been pretty rock solid this year. Next, we have Denver's Baltimore. Give me Baltimore. They're coming off a disappointing loss last week to the Browns. And I think the Broncos are 5-3. I do not think the Broncos are a 5-3 team. I think that the Baltimore Ravens will take last week out on the Denver Broncos, and they will get a dub. Next, we have the Chargers versus the Browns. This is a very interesting spot because the Browns, man, they played pretty well last week. James Winston looks pretty good. I'm pretty sure he led all the NFL in passing yards last week. He's a guy. He's gonna sling it. He's gonna sling it. And what happens, happens. I like the Chargers defense, though. They put in work. I like Justin Herbert, and I like the style of offense that they play. This can be a very interesting game, and I think that the Chargers will get it done, though, even though I would not be surprised if the Browns could pull something off. Next, we have the Raiders of Vegas versus the Bengals. Give me the Bengals here. The Bengals have actually looked pretty solid. They're coming off a bad loss to the Eagles, though. But besides that, they've been beating up on some of these bad teams, so I think that the Bengals will get the job done. The Raiders have not looked very good. Miami versus Buffalo, as much as it hurts me to say, I had the Bills winning. The Dolphins, man, they have not looked good this year, and with Tua back, I have a little hope, but this Buffalo owns us. Buffalo always beats us, and I don't really see where this changes, especially this year. If the Dolphins can pull off, which, I mean, honestly, this year has been really weird. If the Dolphins pull up an upset, I won't be surprised, but if I'd bet my life on it, I'd bet on the Bills here. Next, we have New England versus Tennessee. Give me Tennessee. Very close game. I like Tennessee's defense, though, and I think that Tennessee has started these last couple games very fast, against Buffalo and against the Lions. They've played pretty good the first quarter, the first half. If they can put that together in a full game, they'll be a good team, and I think that they could beat the Patriots. Next, we got the Saints versus the Panthers. This is an absolutely awful game that I will not be watching, but if I had to put money on it, I'd go on the Saints here. I like the Saints' defense, and I think that Carolina doesn't really have anything that really gets me going, where New Orleans has some good playmakers, and they have, some talent on defense that can get the job done. Next up, we got the Washington Commanders versus the New York Giants. And man, last week, that game with Washington and Chicago was absolutely fantastic. I picked the Bears to win. And believe it or not, this is actually my lock of the week. I really like Washington in the spot, and I think that they will dominate this game. They look like an absolute unit, and I think that this team has potential, man. I think they could possibly win their division. And I was actually at this Bears game last week with Washington, and I'll show y'all my point of view. That game was absolutely crazy, and I will never bet against the Commanders, so give me Washington, lock of the week. Next, we got the Bears at Arizona, and I'm going to take the Bears to bounce back. That was a rough loss last week, but I think the Bears will come back, and they will play good. That defense is absolutely fantastic, and the one thing that Arizona does have is a good offense. As you guys saw last week, they put up 31 points, and I think that they're going to try, but I think the Bears will be able to limit them offensively, and I think the Bears offense will be able to have their way with the Cardinals defense. Let's go Jacksonville and Philly. Give me Philly. Philly has looked pretty solid. You know, they've pulled off some good wins. They beat the Cincinnati Bengals last week. They dominated the Bengals last week. I think that they will continue to keep building up momentum, and I think they will take a dub versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, who haven't looked that great. And they just traded Cam Robinson about 10 minutes ago, so they're going to be a little weak on the offensive line. So give me the Eagles. I think that they will get the job done. Next up, we have the Packers and the Lions here. Jordan Love got hurt last week, and they were still able to come out with the dub. Malik Willis came in and played pretty good. You know, got the dub. Josh Jacobs ran all over them, but it's a very interesting game. The Lions are going to Lambeau Field, and I mean, honestly, both teams are absolutely fantastic. Packers have a great defense. The offense has looked fabulous, but man, it's so hard to bet against the Lions, and I have to go with the Lions. They've been one of the hottest teams in all football. They've been absolutely killing it recently, so I like Detroit in the spot. Even though they are in Lambeau Field against a very good Packers team, it's going to be a very good game, and I could see it going either way, but I got to take the hot hand here, and I'm going to take the Detroit Lions. Next up, we got our last 3 games of the week that we'll be covering. We got an NFC West rivalry game. We got Seattle versus LA, and I'm going to go in with the Seahawks here. The Seahawks are underdogs at home. They got brutalized by the Bills last week. And honestly, Seattle's looked hit or miss. You know, they've had some games where they looked absolutely fantastic, and they had some games where they looked awful. I think Seattle's going to come to play here. I think Mike McDonald's going to have the troops ready. I think they will take a dub here. I think it's going to be a very close game, and I like Seattle. I really like this team. I like their offensive weapons. I think DK Metcalf has a chance to be back. Haven't looked much into that, but I think that Seattle will get the job done. Next, we got Indy versus Minnesota, and honestly, I picked Minnesota, but that was before the news of Joe Flacco playing. This game's a coin flip again, but I'm going to go with Minnesota here. I don't think Minnesota will lose 3 games in a row. You know, they're a pretty solid football team. You know, start off red hot, and I don't think they're like Super Bowl contenders, but I think that they are still a pretty good football team. They have Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores, and I think it'll be a very close game, but I think that Minnesota will do it. They'll pull off a win, and they'll end their little losing skid. Last game of the week, we got Kansas City versus Tampa Bay. And man, Tampa Bay they're going through it. They got killed by the Ravens, lost Mike Evans, lost Chris Godwin. Then last week they lost the Falcons in a do or die game, and that's rough. That kills their confidence. And now they're going to Arrowhead Stadium on Monday night with Baker Mayfield. Well, I love Baker Mayfield. I think he's a great quarterback, but it's not looking too hot for them. Got to go with Kansas City, man. Kansas City's going to start 8-0. It's crazy. Kansas City may have a chance to pull it off, man. May have a chance, perfect season, but you never know. It's going to be crazy to see what happens, but I like Kansas City in the spot, and I think they will get the job done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really hope you guys actually enjoy, like watching my videos. If you guys liked it, make sure to like the video. Make sure to comment any recommendations down below. Make sure to help the boy out. I really do appreciate you guys. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. It is your boy, Asalman, out. Peace.